Hello internet, it's me, Dan, your favourite sarcastic...
You're not the main character, for fuck's sake!
Let me address the title of this video. How I cyberbullied Dan Howell on TikTok before I met him on tour. Oops. Is this clickbait? Absolutely. Did I lie though? No! It is actually insane that I'm even in this position to say that this story actually happened and that I'm sharing it on this YouTube channel. I sound insane right now. Like this actually... Most of you who clicked on this video probably know who Dan Howell is, so I don't think I would need to give a very long explanation. But for those of you that are in the very small population that happen to be subscribed to my channel, subscribe by the way, and have no idea who Dan Howell is, first of all, I am very sorry for being extremely annoying for the past few weeks on social media. And secondly, I always loved watching Dan's videos. They were always so entertaining, really witty, very funny. Ugh, it was a very big part of my life, and I feel like YouTube in general has always been a big part of my life. But as all of you know, he didn't really post that many videos. I remember his coming out video, and then he posted his Why I Quit YouTube. Where do I even begin with that video? It was really strange looking back when I was like 16, relating to his social awkwardness to relating to his struggles with the YouTube algorithm. It was actually insane. I actually made a TikTok about it, by the way. You can see it right here. As the YouTube video was finishing, I remember that he made an announcement of his tour. It was a worldwide tour. Not only was he gonna go to Canada, but he also happened to be coming to my city. Like he was actually coming to my city. That was unbelievable. That he chose to come to Alberta. At that point, I was really thinking to myself, he has VIP tickets. I would be able to meet him in person. Should I do this? You know, I feel like I was in this weird limbo because obviously I've been watching Dan for so many years, and he basically inspired me to make this YouTube channel and make videos and try to be more authentic, live my truth. But at the same time, I had no idea how things were gonna go. But you know what? I really told my 16-year-old self, and I really wanted to make sure to heal my inner child, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna click. Yeah, I literally ended up buying VIP tickets, and it was just me. At this time, I was like, what have I done? I don't think it has hit me yet. I kind of put those thoughts aside, and it wasn't until a few months later where it really started to hit me. So, oh, Dan. He made a TikTok. TikTok can be a little bit scary, especially given that a lot of people in TikTok are Gen Z, and there has been this whole thing about millennials.
Hello internet.
I remember seeing that TikTok and I was like, that is the most Dan Howell thing that I've ever seen in my life. I kind of wanted to give him an appetizer of what he would be expecting on TikTok. Give him the right amount of, you know, this is literally what TikTok is, but at the same time not overly traumatize him. You know what he loves? He loves his first video ever. Hello internet.
Hi.
What an iconic video. What if I made a duet video and imitated his Hello Internet video? Wow, that would actually be pretty funny. But part of me was like, should I really do that?
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
I wouldn't want Dan Howell to like permanently ban me, but then again I was like, okay, whatever, it's fine. There's no way he's gonna watch it. I'm probably gonna be one of the thousands of videos. It was lighthearted. Well, for me at least. I don't know about Dan Howell. Sorry. I just gave it a go and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And then I posted it on TikTok for everyone to see. Weirdly enough, or not weirdly enough, it was completely what I expected. Less than 50 people liked the TikTok, and I posted that at like the end of October. It was just buried under all of the other videos. This is exactly what I expected. There is no way Dan Howell will see this. So fast forward a few days, I remember Dan continuing to post more and more TikToks, incredibly long TikToks for TikTok standards. But you know, we love to see it. I love more content. I remember looking at my phone and my eyes were wide open when I saw Daniel Howell liking my TikTok comment. I was like, oh my god, I reached my peak. I cannot believe that I reached my peak. I was texting so many of my friends being like, guys, Dan Howell liked my comment. You know, that was a... Oof, one of my first notices ever by Dan. Sorry for my fanboying, but you clicked on this video, so this is exactly what you're getting. But here is the even spicier part. So the video that I thought that was completely dead and buried under all of these other videos started getting more likes, and I was very confused. I remember finishing work and checking my phone and seeing a bunch of notifications of people liking that specific video. I was very confused on why people were liking that video all of a sudden, and I remember scrolling down on my phone and then all of a sudden seeing 2 notifications of someone who is very, very familiar, and one of them said he liked a video that I was tagged in, and he also made a comment on a video that I was tagged in. And I remember seeing the thumbnail of the TikTok, and it was just Dan looking at me with a disappointed face, and I was like, there's no way is that me? Did he make a comment? Did he mention me? My mind was just racing all over the place. I was very confused. I had no idea what I was expecting, and then I was clicking on that video. That was my face. That was the TikTok that I made a week ago. Oh, this is funny. And then his face popped up. He gave me the
Really? Really?
I was literally speechless. And then part of me was like, is this really my legacy? I made this video. I was making fun of Dan. He saw that video. Not only did he see it, he duetted it. I mean, I feel like I should apologize him in person. I mean, one of the first things that he notices me as a creator was me cyberbullying Dan Howell on TikTok, imitating his first Hello Internet video. What a concept. We love to see it. Naturally, I'll be talking to other people, trying to be like, guys, Dan mentioned me in his he like duetted, he stitched my TikTok, like... Yeah, Dan Howell saw my TikTok and he stitched it. He reacted to it. He looked very disappointed, which is honestly not very surprising because first video, hello internet. I was so overwhelmed. I didn't even know if I was living in the same reality. And I just remember being completely paralyzed, not really knowing what to do. No thoughts, head empty, thrown into the gutter, never to be seen again. And pretty much after I was freaking out for a very, very long time, I remember leaving a very nice comment, albeit very confused comment of me saying, Daniel, I bought a VIP ticket to your show in Edmonton. Dan liked that comment. So that meant he knew I was going to his show. He knows who I am in a really weird way. And I really thought that was the end of it. Until a few hours later, I remember seeing my lovely face on Dan Howell's Instagram story, which freaked me out again. I'm in his stories on Instagram for cyberbullying. Oh my god, I know bullying is not the answer and cyberbullying is not the answer, but why were these mixed messages? Please. And not only that, a few days later, it was a very fateful Sunday when Dan uploaded one of his other iconic daily dystopia videos about TikTok. Wouldn't it be funny if I was like in that video? It'd be so funny. I don't think so, but let me just make a reaction video just in case, because I am delusional. And guess what? I actually did that.
Oh, okay, you can follow me on fucking TikTok.
Oh my god. Am I safe? Am I not safe? What is going to happen?
You can expect this.
Thanks, Phil. Now nobody's showering on the bus.
No.
Hello, internet.
Oh my
It's me.
god. I was in his YouTube video. Do you realize I was immortalized in Dan's YouTube channel? This is a big deal for me. I would have never imagined in a million years that something like that would have happened. Suddenly, I felt like I was 16 again. I suddenly felt like I was in 2014. I still had a couple of weeks until I met Dan. And I remember seeing a comment of someone saying, hey, are you going to his meet and greet? And I was like, yeah, maybe you should print that. And I was like, oh, yeah, maybe I should do that. I had that at the back of my mind. And I also had the brilliant idea of wanting to make fan art, and not just any Dan Howell fan art, but I wanted to really commemorate this really special moment. And it was just him reacting to my TikTok. Everything was just starting to align, and so many people I remember were watching that TikTok, just people commenting. I don't know, I don't think it has like fully hit me yet. I was just in the spotlight. It was like my 5 minutes of fame. I've been watching him for such a long time, and for all of this to happen all of a sudden during this time, it broke my entire entire brain. I literally couldn't even comprehend like what was even happening. I remember anticipating, counting the days until I got to his show, and surprisingly I still managed to procrastinate on writing him a letter, making that drawing, and also compiling specific messages that I wanted from other people to give to Dan. I had to do all of that in the span of a few days. I thought that I would be able to do that within like a few hours, but it took me a lot longer than I expected. That drawing that I made took me like 7 hours, and that letter was incredibly long and incredibly parasocial. I'm very sorry, Dan. It was just a culmination of like 8 years of just appreciating him as a creator, as a person, someone who has been a really big role model, just a very, very big inspiration. It was a very big deal. So finally came the day of November 24th. Really strange for me to see an Instagram story of Dan Howell of the freaking Saskatchewan River. Out of all places, I was like, I know this river. I've seen this river. It is actually... Sorry, I'm like incredibly overwhelmed. I'm still processing all of this. How many times have I said that? Way too many times. I don't care. I just remember being incredibly nervous for that day. I couldn't even sleep the night before because I was just so nervous. I literally had no idea what was gonna happen. Was he gonna recognize me? Was he not gonna recognize me? Like, what was the interaction gonna be? Was he gonna be mad at me? Was he gonna be upset? Was he gonna ban me from the show? My expectations of what I had in mind when I bought those tickets back in May was so different to the expectations that I had now. If I told May of 2022 version of me, yeah, I don't think he would have believed that. And I feel that if I told that to my even younger self me back in 2014, I think the first thing that it would say is, okay, first of all, what the hell is TikTok? Second of all, huh? Hello, I am currently running late. I am so nervous. Oh my god, my phone fell. I'm so nervous. I cannot believe I am meeting Dan. I'm meeting Dan? What? What? Dan Howell? This is my fit for today. Looking great. Trying to wear all black, but I also want to have some green because I love green, so... I remember finally going to the venue. I was alone. Actually, it was not as strange as before because I had the opportunity to go to Dodie's concert alone. By the way, if you don't want to watch it, you can watch it here. So thankfully, because all of us had literally the same commonality and purpose of seeing Dan Howell, I was able to talk to several people during the line. Everyone was really, really nice, and I instantly felt a little bit more comfortable and a little bit less awkward. So many people had the same reason I had, which was to heal our inner child. It was so endearing that we all grew up watching Dan, just seeing him evolve and grow with us. It was something that was very, very, very wholesome, and I loved it. And we were upstairs and we were all lined up and getting prepared to finally meet Dan Howell. It's actually happening. I'm not ready. I remember all of us seeing a glimpse of Dan Howell just walking out just casually and then just going into the meet and greet section, and all of us were like, wow. The anticipation that I had of how I was going to execute the whole, hey, I am the guy that you stitched my TikTok to. I had no idea how I was going to present myself like this, and the line was getting closer and closer and closer, and then all of a sudden the line just started to go quicker and quicker and quicker. I also remember being able to look at Dan's reflection from the freaking window, and I was like, oh my god, he's real. He's an actual person. Oh my god, it was so embarrassing. He's a real person. You have no idea. It was just so weird seeing someone that I've seen on the internet for so long to suddenly realize that I'm like, wait, he's a real person. He has like human flesh and he is actually in my freaking city. This parasocial relationship was not parasocialing. Before I knew it,
How are you?
right in front of me was Dan Howell. For some miraculous reason, I managed to talk to him and have some sort of cohesive conversation with him. It was really, really strange. One of the first things that I wanted to do was to show him that printed TikTok and see if he recognized me. And surely enough, he actually did.
Oh, you bitch. How dare you? How dare you? Give me the right.
He called me a bitch. Honored. Before I could even say, okay, first of all, how the hell did you discover my TikTok? And also thanking him for inspiring me to make my YouTube channel over 8 years ago, which is crazy. Something started to play in the background, and it was a very familiar song that I knew, that I recognized in an instant.
Give me the right.
First of all, of course you have to listen to me.
Yeah, I know.
That, my friends, was Sticker by NCT 127. For those of you who don't know, I have this inside joke with a friend of mine, and my friend is really into NCT and NCT 127. She loves to constantly play that at all times whenever she finds the opportunity. There was this one time I was in the middle of filming, and before I knew it, my television screen changing, there it was NCT. Other instances where I was with a friend, I was showing him Dodie. Funny. The TV was hijacked again, and it was another NCT 127 song. And I felt like I couldn't really escape from it. I kept receiving so many TikToks about it. The fact that out of all the songs that could have played at that moment, it had to be Sticker. Of course it was Sticker. Why wouldn't it be Sticker? It's almost as if my friend knew at that time, was spying on me, and she probably hijacked on that speaker and started playing Sticker as soon as we started talking. Because of course, why not? And this is literally just us talking about Sticker, which I think the funniest part is I remember making that TikTok later on, editing it, because people were starting to realize, is that freaking Sticker by NCT 127? And surely enough, it was. And I remember making that conversation into a video and posting that on TikTok, and it went viral. Thousands of people watched that conversation, and it was just not the thing that I was expecting for it to go viral. The whole meet and greet, while Sticker was playing, I managed to ask him whether I was on his For You page or like how it happened. Because the way he was explaining it to me was that I was one of his first videos that appeared on his For You page. I was on Dan Howell's For You page.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was like, yeah, this happened.
Are you kidding? I was on his For You page at the time where it had less than 50 likes. I don't know if that's a flex or anything, but the fact that, you know, I'm part of Dan Howell's algorithm, I'm saying that out loud and it literally makes no sense. So at this point, I met Dan. We were talking about NCT and Sticker, and then he was mentioning how I was on his For You page. So clearly this conversation was very fictitious. I still remember I had a couple of things that I wanted to give. I remember giving him a letter, and then I also wanted to give something else for him to really make sure to remember our really accidental collab moment that we had on TikTok. My fan art, my lovely fan art, recreating this iconic moment. I mean, some people said, wow, this is the most unexpected collab, and I'm like, am I allowed to say that I collab with Dan Howell? Is that like a reach? I feel like I'm getting more and more delusional the more I talk about this. It was great. You know, I was able to, you know, add a little Easter egg and add Phil there as well. Also, I have this friend who is also a content creator, and his name is Mercury. He went to the show before I did, and he thought it was amazing. Didn't really have the opportunity to meet Dan, but I had, and I was like, you know what? I have your hat, and I will make Dan wear it, and we'll take a picture of it. That is by far the most horrifying thing that I've ever done. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Dan Howell wearing my friend's merch. That's just everything. And I was like, I have to do it. I remember just like rummaging and just panicking. Oh my god, I was such a mess, by the way. I have so much shit with me. And I remember showing him the hat, and I was like, so this is my friend's hat. He thought it was like really funny because, you know, Comic Sans, too many thoughts. Great. It was not my intention for me to give the hat to Dan Howell. I thought that we were just gonna take a picture. But I remember very vividly when Dan Howell looked at it and was like, oh, is that for me? And long story short, I was like, you know what? This is exactly what my friend would have wanted. So I said yes, and Dan Howell has Mercury's merch. You are very welcome. And I also remember taking a couple of pictures. It was actually very nice. He is incredibly tall, by the way. We gave a really awkward hug. Like, it reminded me so much of the Taylor Swift hugging Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know why. My brain just works weirdly like that. And then I was able to finally apologize for cyberbullying him on TikTok, where thousands of people were watching that video.
I am very sorry for cyberbullying. That is okay. I deserve it.
Again, very insane. I was very grateful that we had a good experience and that we had actually a good, funny icebreaker to be able to talk about. The most important thing that I wanted to say for inspiring me to start my own YouTube channel, of course, that had to be the one thing I didn't mention to him because of freaking Sticker by NCT 127. 2007. So thank you very much. But that's okay. I did write a letter and I did mention a lot of things. Maybe a little bit too much of that, a little bit too parasocial. I am very sorry. So the next person that came in to meet Dan, who helped me record this video, by the way, thank you Abby so much for helping me record. I helped her record her video, meeting Dan and everything, and she saved him a B-reel. I didn't have a B-reel at that time. Before I realized it, my first B-reel was going to be in someone else's B-reel with Dan Howell.
You're about to be in the background of the B-reel, okay?
I'm gonna be in your B-reel. I don't even know how to be.
I remember being at the pre-show as well and having a really good time. It was really weird seeing him on stage. It really felt as if I was wearing a VR headset and just seeing Dan in a three-dimensional area. But no, it was actually the real Dan Howell. And I was just in a state of shock.
I considered visiting with interest in Latin America. I'd love to. It's just that these guys are afraid to bring me there. I want to. That's like the ballad. Yes.
Yeah. Dan, please visit Mexico. I have a lot of friends in Mexico.
Oh my god, I can't watch that. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassing. Oh my god, the way I interrupted Dan and other people. On behalf of everyone in the pre-show in Edmonton, Alberta, I would like to apologize for being incredibly annoying and interrupting. Oh god. The whole show was incredible. I loved it. It was funny, it was witty, it was interactive. There were so many things happening. I don't want to give any spoilers because as of now, he did end his North American tour, but he's still going to be touring across Europe and Australia. If you happen to be there, please watch it. Look at me being such a good marketing person for Dan Howell. I don't even know if people are going to watch this video, but whatever, it's fine. However, there was this one section of the show that I very vividly remember. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what happened, but basically, long story short, I was completely drenched in bubbles. This is all the context that I'm gonna give. I didn't even know that he was actually targeting directly at me. I was sitting right in front of the show, and before I knew it, I just knew that that was my fate. I realized we were making intense eye contact. It was looking at me with incredible amount of hatred and revenge. It was a lot. Not gonna tell you why any of this happened, but it was a very personal attack and I felt it. Oh my god, and the way Dan personally called me on the show was incredibly weird and surreal because I was like, is he actually talking about me? Oh, he's actually talking about me. Oh my god, this was probably the most awkward thing that I've ever done. I kid you not. I remember standing up from my seat, looking at people around awkwardly and be like, hi.
I made a whole ass video about this as if I would ever involuntary force someone to do audience participation. No, do not worry. With me, you are always safe. I will never make you feel uncomfortable. You can just sink back into the darkness and have a good time.
Really, Dan? Really? The fact that you personally attacked me on your show without any prior warning? Sure. Oh, don't worry, you won't have any audience participation. I'm sorry. I thought I was gonna be safe in the audience. I guess I wasn't. Fair enough. Fair play. I am still waiting for an apology. That's not even the worst part because the floor was so slippery after Dan's unexpected attack that was very personal. I almost slipped and fell out of my seat. I was completely drenched. I was wet, but I was mostly very confused. During the intermission of the show, there was this one person that reached out to me that was asking, that felt like a very personal attack. Was this intentional or was this just random? And I remember showing her the printed TikTok and she was like, that was you? The amount of people that recognized me when I showed them that printed duet TikTok was very strange because actual real people were like, wait, that's you? Oh my god, I cannot believe that was you. I'm gonna sound like a YouTuber. I know everyone says this all the time. You know, whenever I looked at specific interactions and engagements, they're just numbers, right? They're just like likes on a number. But I failed to realize at that time that I'm like, wait, real people watched this. So many people liked it and it was really, really strange and oddly flattering in a weird way. I felt like a main character.
You're not the main character!
Look, I don't know who wrote this absurd Tumblr fanfiction that I just happen to be the main character in, but very interesting plot, I must say. 9 out of 10. It doesn't seem very realistic, but it seems that there's a lot of build-up, there's a lot of interesting dynamic going on. Generally, everything that I've been saying, are you kidding me? Is any of this real? Like, oh my god. And I remember tweeting my pictures with Dan, posing with the iconic printed TikTok and everything. It was just so weird that there were so many people liking and engaging with it. And they were like, wait, that was you? Oh my god, I cannot believe that was you. I was very thankful, but I was also very overwhelmed. The whole experience was just like one of the coolest but also weirdest experiences because I've never had anything remotely like this ever. It was so strange. I couldn't truly comprehend everything that has happened to me in the past couple of weeks. The way I was able to cope with all of that was to create hashtag contents. I made so many TikToks that, again, so many people watched. I was so surprised. It's insane how my TikTok where I was meeting Dan, over 30,000 people liked that video. My freaking sticker video with Dan, over 30,000. Like, that's absurd. That's
30,000?
What is life? Let me tell you something else that happened a few days after. For those of you who don't know, I am also a very big fan of Dodie. I've always loved her music for so long, and she's actually one of the main people that inspired me to make covers. It was very surreal that I got the privilege and opportunity to meet Dodie after the show in Vancouver. It was amazing. Again, the video is right here. So you can imagine my shock when I realized that a few days later, Dan uploaded a very specific video, and it was a collaboration video with Dodie. Out of everyone, it was Dodie. That was my Joker moment. This was my Avengers. I freaked out on Twitter. By the way, I'm very sorry to all my Twitter followers. I literally remember making this TikTok video of me freaking out about Dodie and Dan finally making a collab video. And guess who the first person was? It was Dodie. Dodie liked that video. Oh my god. It was like, what the hell? Kind of embarrassed about it. And I also remember Dan uploading his like TikTok of the actual Daily Dystopia theme song, and it was with Dodie. It was incredibly surreal, and I remember telling him, I didn't sneeze, but thank you for blessing me, and he liked the comment too. What is even happening? Like, this parasocial relationship was not feeling very parasocial. Thank you very much. Again, how dare you? The coincidence was insane. In my letter, I remember writing how grateful I was for discovering Dodie through Dan, and the fact that that video was uploaded a few days after I gave that letter. What? Call me delusional, but was that really a coincidence? Did he know? Someone was like, oh my god, he totally flew all the way back to the UK, filmed with Dodie, and then came back just for you. Crazy coincidence. It just didn't feel real. It was just one of the coolest experiences, but honestly, it was one of the strangest experiences that I've ever had. And I am incredibly, incredibly grateful. It was honestly such a privilege. It was so weird. Look, I'm gonna continue saying that it's weird, but you have to, I mean, at this point, wouldn't you agree that this has been a really weird experience? Weren't you? I'm just incredibly grateful that he was able to really enjoy his time on the show. And I remember looking at like his stories when he finished the North American show that he had one of the best times ever. And that made me really happy because I remember in a lot of his videos where, you know, he's trying to live his truth. He wants to find happiness. He wants to find that fulfillment. It shows that he is really finding that fulfillment, his calling. I just want Dan to be happy. I just want him to feel and chase his dreams and be as authentic and unapologetically Dan Howell. So yeah. Of course, again, Dan, thank you so much for organizing this entire tour. It was incredible. I loved it. My friends loved it too. This whole interaction did not feel very parasocial, so I am a little bit confused on what this whole thing is. Like, Dan, what are we?
Joke.
Yeah. Thank you.
And to everyone else that I got to talk to today, whether that was on the show or whether that's on like social media, on TikTok, Twitter, etc. Honestly, thank you so much. It's been really crazy seeing the amount of support that I've gotten during this whole thing. And it was really endearing to see that it was okay for me to be overly excited. It's gonna be very hard for me to top something like this. I feel like I've really reached my peak. And you know what? I'll take it. I'm very grateful for that. Okay, it seems that I am facing a lot of technical difficulties at the moment. I think this might be a sign for me to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope that you really liked the video. If you liked it, you can give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you're interested in anything else that might happen. I have some exciting new projects that I definitely want to showcase, as well as other miscellaneous things. And hopefully I will see some of you very soon. Bye-bye.